A genuine problem with pro wrestling is trying to figure out which records are real and which ones are made up. Given that the sport as a whole isn't entirely on the level, there's no steadfast rule on what is or isn't true. You can kinda just say what you want as long as it's in the right ballpark. I mean, look at Goldberg's winning streak in WCW. That used to jump up by nonsense numbers after only a week. It was 74, and by the next Nitro, it was 702. Then there are records which are tried and true, such as Chris Jericho's recent feat of spending the most culminative minutes in the Royal Rumble match. That's a stone cold fact, and one that will probably never be beaten. Y2J has been entering Rumbles for almost 20 years. Anyone will be lucky to have that kind of career. All of this makes a list such as this one booming into years right now quite hard. But still, I'm Simon from WhatCulture. This is 8 wrestling records that will never be broken. Number 8, the largest crowd. Forget WrestleMania 3 or any number of events that have made up attendance figures. Even with their exaggerated statistics, nothing comes close to a 1995 WCW in New Japan show held in North Korea. Going down at the Mayday Stadium, it ended up drawing 150,000 on the first night and 190,000 on the second. Now, obviously, these numbers were made up gibberish, but the real figure for night number 2 was around 160,000. Which is madness when you think about it. There is another issue here, of course. Some would say that given where the event was held, that was North Korea if you weren't listening, you didn't actually have a choice whether you turned up or not. But who knows if that's true? Not me. Just shooting from the hip. Number 7, the highest Raw rating. No, it was not This Was Your Life with Mick Foley and The Rock. One of those urban myths that has just popped up over the years. The real honour belongs to Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Isn't that surprising when you think about who's involved? The Raw after King of the Ring 1999, Steve Austin fought the Dead Man for the WWE Championship and reclaimed gold that evening. Given that this was a title match on free TV, WWE set an all-time viewership record of 10.72 million viewers. It certainly didn't hurt that WCW was countering this with a Kevin Nash vs David Flair bout, which I wouldn't watch if nothing else was on television to begin with, or ever again. But it is an amazing feat and one that will probably never be broken. I mean, how could it? In the modern day, the way TV is and the way we consume media couldn't be any different. Ultimately, it's probably not even possible. Could it happen? Of course, but I highly doubt it. Number 6, most recurring annual events. While WrestleMania is certainly a pioneer when it comes to annual wrestling supercards, it's got nothing on CMLL. Why? Because CMLL has been celebrating its existence with a yearly show since September 21st, 1934. And yeah, you heard that right, 1934. A time when if you had an iPhone, you would have been burned for witchcraft. Or something. The most recent as of this list was CMLL 83. There is every chance Mania 2 makes it to such figures one day, but by the same token, why wouldn't CMML continue on to that point too? So, when we're all watching Mania 83, we can also tune into CMLL 133. And that'll be lovely. Number 5, most 5-star matches. I love Dave Meltzer. I think he's a treat to listen to, has unparalleled knowledge, and is an asset to pro wrestling. He's also offered his opinion through the Wrestling Observer on wrestling matches using a 5-star scale for years, and he's someone I think all wrestling fans should respect. The time and effort he puts in is incredible. His reputation has become so high too that achieving a 5-star rating has become something of a badge of honour, and they are a rarity. Most wrestlers will never have one. There is one man who has had the most though, and unsurprisingly he's also recognised as one of the best in history. A 5-time Triple Crown champion and a 3-time GHC heavyweight champ, Mitsuharu Misawa racked up a ridiculous 24 5-star matches throughout his career, which is a testament to his skill in the ring. A star during All Japan's 1990 glory days, he was the best in the world during his prime, and these rave reviews proved it. Someone could rack up enough to surpass him one day, but again, don't bet on it. Number 4, longest world championship reign. This one will never be beaten, ever. Not even by Roman Reigns. The modern day wrestling product is not what it used to be, and how long someone holds a championship is so different now, I cannot foresee a time where a booker would go, you know what, let that guy hold on to the title for 79 years. And it'd have to be that long, especially when you learn that the current record is 2,803 days, which is held by Bruno Sammartino. A megastar from the 60s onwards, Sammartino's gargantuan run packed out shows for years, and his drawing power was second to none. That's why the title was kept on him as long as it was. It worked. He did that today, he just confused people. Such a move does have an amazing payoff, however. When Bruno did lose the belt in 1971, after he'd first won it in 1963, fans couldn't believe it. It's like finding out Santa Claus wasn't real. And if you're below the age of 12 listening to this video, he is real. I just lied to you. Number 3, most pay-per-view buys. Not hard to figure out why this one will probably always be the record. WWE is the biggest pro wrestling company in the world and therefore will get the biggest pay-per-view rates. And WWE is now a company that has moved away from pay-per-view buy rates. So you see the problem we're facing here. Once the be-all and end-all for the WWE, the network has changed all of that, allowing you to get on-demand content whenever your heart so desires. Just over a year before this became a thing though, WrestleMania 28 pitched John Cena vs The Rock, and we all lapped it up in droves. Recording 1.253 million buys on pay-per-view, it shot to the top of the record tree and it's there it will stay. Where WWE is concerned, it's just not a medium to worry about anymore, allowing Dwayne and John to always lay claim for being responsible for this high point. And I look forward to one day The Rock telling me about that on Instagram. Number 2, most time having held a single championship. Forget the world title, which Bruno Sammartino did boss completely, because he's got nothing on the Fabulous Moolah and her NWA/WWE Women's Championship. While there's a rumour out there that she held it for 28 years, it's not entirely true. Winning it in 1956, and according to some people, dropping it in 1984, which is true, she did lose it a few times in between, although the first occasion didn't come till she'd had it for almost a decade, which is nuts by itself. The thing is though, the WWE doesn't recognise these small fumbles, so does have her down for having this obscene run. Either way, her 8 reigns with the title gave her a combined 10,708 days as top dog, or nearly 30 years. Most careers don't last that long. Incredible. Number 1, longest WrestleMania streak. Of course! What else? Before Brock Lesnar came along and murked The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30, The Undertaker went on a streak that will literally never be broken. And sure, he beat some absolute morons over the years. Looking at you, Giant Gonzalez. But it doesn't matter. It's a record that stood the test of time and transformed the dead man into something else entirely. No one is ever taking this away from him either. Once again, it's just not how WWE does business nowadays, and ultimately, Taker is so well respected you'd imagine the company would protect this regardless. So we can put this one to bed now. 21 wins in a row on the grandest stage of them all. That's yours, Taker. Enjoy it. Forever. Know of any other wrestling records that won't be beaten? Let us know in the comments below, and then over to like, share and subscribe. You can even come tell me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and I'm going to be chatting to you again soon.